Yes, sir.
Move on to class. So already last class we seen, right? So how to what is the Terraform script and which are the files we have to modify, and so how to create so IAM users and all IAM users and that is secret key and access key, right? So first let me check. So I want to update this one. If you want to connect your AWS account, so first you need so access key and secret key, right? Go to here, and so last class I created whether that is correct or not. This is AKIA. So now coming to my script. So coming to here. So here I have script and all. So here I have to update one file, main.tf file. So your case also just create your secret key access key. My secret key and access key it won't work. So AKIA P3 last. So check it whether same or not. P3, okay, correct only. Okay, no need to update. And so second one, which one you need to update? This file. How many, right? So how many you want to worker nodes? So here minimum worker node 1 and maximum worker node 3 and desired worker node I need 2. That's it. One master and two worker nodes. So one master, two worker nodes. And so now go to here, go to this particular path. So where is your this right this Terraform script and all. And so here we need to try. So before executing Terraform init apply plan and all, let me check whether same name is available. That's EKS Elastic Kubernetes Service. That if already available, I am going to destroy. If not available, okay. Anyway, I don't have anything. And coming to here, so where is this? Here, right? So what is the first command? Terraform init. So if you'll give Terraform init means it will download necessary plugins and all. If already not available in our local machine, so it will download necessary plugins and all. So anyway, it is done. Next, what is the next command? Terraform, Terraform validate, Terraform validate. So Terraform validate. So if you use Terraform validate, now it is checking so your configurations is valid or not. Now finally we are using, you can use plan also. So Terraform plan. Plan means so what are the resource we are going to create in our AWS account. So we have script, right? In that script, so almost we have 48 resources. See here. So almost 48 resources we are going to create in our AWS. AWS is that is the cloud, right? So manually we can create instance, whatever that is security group, VPC, subnet, internet gateway. Already you know how to create manual and all. But so here I have script with the help of this Terraform script. I am going to create this 48 resources in AWS. That's it. So which is the last one? Terraform, Terraform apply, apply apply, Terraform apply. So this is the last. Now these 48 resources going to create in our AWS account. Now it will start. So here it will take some time. So now I want to continue, right? Yes. Now it is done. Continue. Now it is going to create all resources and all. It will take so 10 to 15 minutes. Just leave it. Okay. So now, meantime, so we need one client. We need one client mission to connect our cluster and all. So this is my right. This is our Kubernetes master, and so here I am going to create two worker nodes. So this is a worker node, and this is a worker node. Two worker nodes. So now everything once this is done. Now how to connect our cluster and all. So how to connect our cluster and all. So we need one client mission. Anyone that is Linux mission or Ubuntu, anyone, whatever it may be. So we can select anyone. This is the Kubernetes master. And so I given only two worker nodes, right? So this is the worker node 1 worker node 1, and this is a worker node 2. Worker node, worker node 2. So, right, what are the main components? Remain story same only. API server, next etcd, next scheduler, next controller, correct? Now, if you come to here, parts, main components, part, Docker, next kubelet, correct? Which one? One more. Parts, Docker, kubelet, which is last one.
Cube proxies.
Cube proxy. Okay, cube proxy. So these are the main components. So these all are in save all worker nodes. These are the common only. Don't confuse here. Suppose if you select 10 worker nodes, in 10 worker nodes, these are the main components. Now, this is my Kubernetes master and this is my Kubernetes worker node. This is the cluster. So Kubernetes cluster is nothing but group of servers. So cluster is nothing but group of servers. Here, don't think this is also one instance. This is also one instance. This is also one instance. But what is difference between master and worker nodes? In master, there is main components running here. That's it. In master, main components are running. In worker nodes, these are the common components. Now, once this is done, so your master, your worker node is done. So how to connect your cluster? This is my cluster, right? This is my cluster, K8s cluster. This is the fully managed. This is our cluster. This is my K8s cluster. Now how to connect this cluster? So once the setup is ready, once the setup is ready, we need to create we need to create one client instance. So what is my client instance? Now I'm going to select any one client instance. So any one client instance. So anyone. This is like we can select a Linux or Ubuntu or whatever that is your requirement. Anyway, I'm taking a Linux or Ubuntu. Okay. So in this mission, so I need to install two softwares. One is AWS CLI, command line interface. AWS CLI and so kubectl. kubectl. So these are the two software. These are the two packages I need to install in our client machine. So with the help of this, now we can connect your your cluster, your Kubernetes cluster. So anyway, it is running, right? Let me check it. Okay, still it is creating. So meantime, I'm going to create. So this is the client. We can select any instance, Linux or Ubuntu or whatever it may be. This is based on requirement, and with the help of we can connect to our cluster. Now I am go to here, and so this is my account. So actually this cluster and all it is creating. So Yahoo, I think ES is 2, right? Default this is I didn't update. Here only it is creating. So US East 2. So go to here. So it is creating. See here. So your cluster is creating. Your cluster is creating. EKS cluster is creating. So version is Kubernetes versions 1.24. So latest version is 1.26, right? And it is creating here 2 point. So anyway, it will take time. And so meantime, I need to one client software, client instance, correct? So EC2. Now coming to here, and let me create so one EC2 instance. So now, so here also, so one instance is running. I don't know which instance. So this is EKS K8. I don't want this one. This is a stop. Forget. Now let me create one new anyone that is your wish. So I'm giving name is so DevOps K8s, DevOps K8s, and so we can select Linux or Mac or Ubuntu, whatever it may be, Linux, and free tier is enough for me. This is a client instance only to connect your cluster. Okay. Now this is enough for me, and T2. This is T2 micro also enough, and key pair. So which key pair? I need key pair. Mark K8s. whether that is available or not. I want to check it, or else more K8s. Mm, 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 K8s, same thing, right? So anyway, I can use same only. I can use same only. Okay, I'm selecting K8s, and so security group. So if we come to here, right now I am allow all port numbers. Right now I am allow all port numbers. So or I can create. Let's check it. Now 1 GB, 8 GB enough for me. So that's it. One instance enough for me. Okay. So this is the client. So this is the client. So once the client is ready, and so we need to install what are the software we need to, which packages we need to install. AWS CLI, command line interface. Already in SAR also explained, right? In ECR, what is this? Elastic Container Registry, and so S3 bucket, how to check AWS, some of AWS CLI commands. List of, if you search AWS CLI commands, and we can easily work with that commands. So AWS CLI, CLI commands. If we give, so by default there is a few commands mostly we are using. So those commands we can check it. So see here AWS EC2, if you want to check it, and SQ and AWS else means we will get all commands and auto scaling. And if you select AWS S3 LS, so with the help of AWS command line interface, we can check so how many buckets available in our S3. So these are the basic AWS commands. So anyway, going forward, you all also familiar with these commands. In interview also one or two people they asked, so do you know how to work with the AWS commands and all? Just if you Google it, we'll get all commands almost, and with the help of so just try it. So now now onwards, just try how to work with AWS CLI also. So now coming to here, let me connect my instance. So this is my instance, right? DevOps. Click on this and click on connect, and copy this. Same story only. Here my PM file is available. Go to here, right click and go to git bash. So meantime, it is still creating. It will take time. So we'll see. Okay. Now yes. So now let me control plus. Now sudo yum update. Just I am updating packages. Sudo yum update -y. Sudo yum update -y. So nothing to everything is so nothing to do. Complete to here. Now, so we need to install so two packages. So what are those two packages? So one is AWS CLI and the second one is kubectl. These are the two packages we need to install in our client instance. Okay. Now, so go to here already, or else I will share this document. We can follow same thing. Let me open this. Or if you Google it, we'll get same thing only. So AK setup. So there is multiple ways we can do it, right? So this is EK cluster and all. Now we are using anyway EKS. So first we need to install the. So first we need to install the. This is a kubelet, kubectl, and one more also we need to install. That is what is that? CLI, AWS CLI. Or directly we can check here also. Google. Go to browser. Go to browser. AWS CLI Linux. So if we click on this, so this is the official website. Install upgrade. So now if you see here, so these are the how to installing or updating the latest version of AWS CLI command line interface like DAS, like git bash, right? See here, this topic describes how to install and upgrade latest release of and all. Now if you come to here AWS CLI install and upgrade instructions, where you want to set up, so Linux or Mac OS or Windows. So which is my instance? It is the Linux, right? Just select Linux. Just select Linux. Now if you select Linux, now here it is asking, they are giving some commands. So here, see here install, they are giving. So no need to remember, just copy all these things, copy all these things, and so coming to here, just paste it, just paste it. That's it. Okay. So now this is done. Now same way, coming to here. Now if you want to check it, so this is the update current version and all, and download and all. And so if you want to check this install also done, right? Directly we can check version whether it is working or not. So this is the how to check AWS CLI installer. AWS hyphen version. You know, right? How to check Java, how to check Maven, how to check those same only. So if you want to check Java hyphen version, we are giving, right. Right now I don't have anything. Leave it. And the same way. So AWS hyphen version. So if you use this command, now see here AWS CLI. So that CLI version we are using 2.11.4, and also by default Python also install. So these are the dependency packages. You don't worry. Okay. Just Google it. Just install the AWS CLI. So and select flavor, which machine you want to install. That's it. So if you Google it, it will display. This is this. This is the official website also. Or if you want to, we can try. I am sending a so chat box. Just copy and paste somewhere. Okay. Now second, which is next one, we need to install the kubelet. We need to install the kubelet. So what is kubelet? What, sorry, kubectl, right? So what is kubectl? So Kubernetes control toolkit. I hope. So let me check it. So kubectl. So kubectl means this is the one tool. So this is the one tool. Kubectl is the kubectl. So kubectl means Kubernetes command line tool. So kubectl. So Kubernetes command line tool, and this is simple tool. The what is the main purpose? If you want to connect to allow to run commands against your Kubernetes cluster. So this is my Kubernetes cluster, right? So with the help of kubectl, and we are sending so we are running commands and all, and it is interact with the your Kubernetes cluster, and it will so we'll get what are the parts, and you know, right, what are the parts, what are the deployment objects. So we can use kubectl to deploy your applications or inspect your applications and manage your cluster resources, and we can find logs and whatever it may be. So whatever it may be, so that is the main purpose. We need to install the kubectl Kubernetes command line tool. So Kubernetes command line tool. So with the help of this tool, we can run your commands in our CLI mode against your Kubernetes cluster. And with the help of these commands, we will get this information. We can deploy your application. We can check logs your application. We can describe. We can inspect. We can view. We can create resources, whatever it may be. So now if you see here, now just if you search it, and so install kubectl in so AWS Linux, just a Linux mission. So if you use this means so this is the official website. So these are the official website. See here doc.aws.amazon.com, or we can use install and set up Kubernetes CTL on Linux, and so Linux. Okay. If we click on this now, so if we click on this, so here we can see, here we can see here. So here we can see there is a lot of see install and upgrading kubectl, and so there is different so you must use kubectl version. So that is within our one minor so that is minor version different from EKS, and these are the flavors we can use which version you installed. So currently EKS is installed which version, check it here. Coming to here EKS, EKS, right? So 1.24, right, we are it is installing. So anyway, it is done. See here active. So my EK setup is ready. My EK setup is ready. What is the Kubernetes version I am using currently? 1.24. So 1.24. Now if you come to here, so here are different versions available. Kubernetes 1.25, Kubernetes 1.24, Kubernetes 1.3, 1.23, and 1.122. These are the different versions. So currently I am using which one? 24, right? Just copy this command. That's it. So no need to worry others. Just which version you installed, your K8s Setup, that is cluster and all. Copy this one and just execute it. Okay, just paste it. Okay, so once so this is done. So that is done. This is also same only. No need to execute. Now coming to here. Now coming to here. That is done. Now coming to go down. So now we need to execute this commands. So let me execute this one. Just copy and paste it. No need to remember. Coming to here, just paste it. Okay. So install open SSL. Okay, that is done. Now coming to here. Now we need to give so plus X. What is this plus X? These are the Linux commands only. So by default here we'll see one folder, one directory. LS. If you see LS, now see here kubectl. One package is downloaded. So for this we need to give X. What is X means? Linux command. So chmod plus X means what is this command? For this directory, which permission we are giving?
Executable.
Executable permission. That's it. These are basic only, same already in Linux, you know. So I given full execute permission. Now see, copy the binary folder in our path. So this and all no need to remember. Just this is the default path, and so we are giving just copy and coming to here, just paste it. Okay, that is also done. Now coming to here, this is the optional or whatever it may be. Just copy and paste. So now copy and paste. Okay, this is also done. Now last command. I want to check whether this how to check kubectl version and all. So this is the command kubectl space version space hyphen hyphen short space hyphen hyphen client. So this is the command. So which version it is installed? Now we can check it. So if you see this version and all, everything working fine. Suppose you install any wrong or if it is not installed properly, so that case so here we can see some error message if it is not installed properly. Anyway, so version 1.24, see here client version. So which client I am using? kubectl 1.24, and my Kubernetes cluster also I am using 1.24. So my so second part also done. Now see here it is active. It is active 1.24 I am using, and so this is my client mission, and this is also done. This is also done. Clear guys? So this part done. So this is also done. Now now we need to configure the AWS. So if you want to work with so your cluster and we need to configure AWS. So this is the one command we need to use. Now let me check it. AWS EKS cluster listener. This is the command. So you don't know, right? What is the AWS command? Just use AWS. If you use now we can see help. AWS hyphen help. Just assume you don't know anything. So which command I want to execute? Okay. Now these are the help commands. Now here there is many commands available. So for list and all one command is there. So directly I am using that one. AWS EKS list hyphen clusters. If you use this command, it will display your cluster information. Which what is your cluster name? So that and all we can see here. Okay. So clear the screen. So AWS EKS list hyphen clusters. If you use this is a command. If you use this command, so now unable to locate credentials, you can configure your credentials. So we are unable to configure. So if you want to configure your credentials, it is asking. So it is asking use this command. Now I need to configure. So AWS hyphen sorry space configure FIGUR configure. Now it is asking access key, secret key, and see here what is your access key? AWS access key ID. Already I know, right? Already I have that. So let me copy this one. What is this one? Access key. Which file? This is right. So this is my access key. Copy this access key So this is the third step. So access key, and it is asking secret key also. This is the client, right? How I can connect with the help of this access key and secret key. So copy this one, and so coming to here. Now it is asking default region name. So where it is where the EKS cluster are running, US East. Let me check it. Where it is created, US East. Click on here. So Ohio, US East 2. Just configure that one. US hyphen East East hyphen 2. That's it. Now, so default format. This is the default format JSON only. Okay, JSON only. That's it. So my now I configure AWS also. I configure, I added my access key and secret key and which region and all. Now let me check it my cluster AWS EKS list hyphen clusters. I want to check my cluster name. Now see here. So this is my cluster name. Now check it whether so education hyphen EKS hyphen. So this is my cluster name. Now coming to here, see here, same name we can see. Now I can see. Now I want to check. So now this is a command. So kubectl get. I want to check how many nodes. So now if you see here, we are getting this the connection to the server localhost 8080 was refused. Was refused. So now your cluster is ready. Now next. So your cluster is ready, and so AWS CLI ready, and kubectl ready, and also I used AWS configure also done. AWS configure. This is also done. Now, if you want to check your cluster information, so AWS EKS list hyphen clusters. Now we can see your cluster name and all. Now I want to check my worker nodes, those and all. If you want to check those and all, so there is one command is there. This is a command AWS EKS update hyphen kube config hyphen name your cluster name and region. This is a command. This is a command. Okay. Now I am using same command. Now see here, I want to update. So AWS EKS update hyphen kube config hyphen name your cluster name. What is my cluster name? What is my cluster name? So this is my cluster name, correct? See here, AWS EKS list hyphen clusters. So this is my cluster name, right? Correct? Copy this cluster name, copy this cluster name and paste it here. That's it. And region. This cluster running which region? Where it is running? US
Yes.
hyphen EA East hyphen 2. Correct? So this is a command. Only we have to remember these commands only. That's it. Nothing. Copy this one and coming to here. Next we need to use this command. Okay. So this is the command. AWS EKS update hyphen kube config. So actually there is under the kubectl. So there is one file is there, and we need to update that name and where it is executing. That's it. Now this is also done. Just enter it. Now see here, added new context ARN and AWS EKS US is 2. This is the ID. This is my cluster name and where. So home directory ec2 hyphen user dot cube under config file. If you want to, we can check it. So now here, right? So now, so here, now cd space dot cube. Now which user I am in? PWD here, right? PWD I am in ls hyphen la ls-la. Now see here. So this is the directory, cube directory. So we need to go to the directory. cd space dot cube, cube directory. So under this directory, so there is a one more config. So config, right? So ll. So this is the file or directory. This is the file only. So now check it. Cat space config. Cat space config. Now if you see here, now we can see this is your cluster name. This is your EKS cluster name. This is your EKS cluster name. And so now we can see and where it is running. US is 2. And this is the get token. This all same. and JSON format I given, and these are the users name. This is your full name. Okay, and so this is your server. Now see here. So this is the your cluster certifications. Your cluster certification API version V1, your certification, and this is your server. See here, this is your server full path. We can check this one also. This is my ARN name. This is my cluster name. This is my context path. So where it is executing. So which region. So everything okay. Now let me check my cluster is ready. Now how to check? Now how to check how many worker nodes configure? How to check how many worker nodes are running? So which worker nodes are healthy? What which worker nodes? Now mostly we are using. So now my setup is ready, guys. Now as of now, anyone any doubt? If it is clear, now we move on to commands. kubectl commands. kubectl commands. Kubernetes command line tool. Kubernetes command line tool. So what is the main purpose? To interact your Kubernetes cluster. Now I want to check it. See here, kubectl, kubectl get nodes. Nodes means, so in this file already I given, right? So in this file, if you see here, somewhere updated. So desired size, how many worker nodes I given? Count. One or two. This is the min desired. How many I want worker nodes? Two, right? Now we can see here. kubectl get nodes. Now see here. So two worker nodes are running. This is my one worker node, and this is the one another worker node. Now got it? Now here we can see. So how to check it physically? Now go to your AWS account. Now go to your AWS account. Go to EC2. Go to EC2. Go to EC2. Now observe here. Two worker nodes automatically created, and that two worker nodes also it is running healthy state. Now see here, earlier we only one, right? Now see here, node hyphen group one. This is one worker node. Node hyphen group one. This is if you want to, we can change name also. Just for our naming convention, I updated. Now see here, node, node group one, node group two, or we can change it. This is a running state, everything working. This is the T2 medium, T3 medium. Okay, this is the T2 micro. This is the medium. So my cluster, my master, my worker nodes is ready. So now it is everything working fine. Now, so with the help of CLI, I am executing one command. See here, here I executed one command. Which command I executed? So here I executed one command. So kubectl get nodes. So this is your client. This is your client. So to interact your master, this is your client. So here I installed already AWS CLI, and also I installed kubectl. Now it will go to Kubernetes master, and with the help of master we are getting this information. Clear, guys? Anyone any doubt here? Now the setup is ready. Kubernetes cluster is ready. This is my Kubernetes master. These two are the Kubernetes worker nodes. Now how to connect your master? This is taken care by AWS people. You don't worry. Now let me see here. If you go to here, EKS. If you go to here, EKS. If you click on EKS, now see here, everything working fine. This is the provider EKS. And if you click on this, if you click on this, now we can see some basic informations. So which Kubernetes versions you are using? 1.24. And what are the next status is active, who is provider, which service you used, EKS. See here, if you using EKS and all. Next resources. Now we can see these are the resources. So these are the resource types: pod template, pods, replica sets, deployments, stateful sets, daemon sets, jobs, cron jobs, priority classes, and this is the horizontal pod auto scaling. And if you want to check cluster information, so what are the nodes? Click on nodes. How many nodes we have? See here, we have two nodes. Here we can see, right? What is the node? This is the one node, and this is the one node. See here, both two are instance type T3. So now if you see, if you have any services and networks, right now I don't have any service. So that is the empty. Now if you come to storage, this is a persistent. Next 1 week we are going to discuss this all are so main so Kubernetes objects, main Kubernetes objects. So these are the workloads. So workloads, if you go to workloads, here we can see many objects. So anyone any doubt as of now? Clear, guys? So how to set up how to set up EKS cluster. Now how to connect our cluster. So we need to set up we need to create one client mission, and within the mission we need to install two packages, and we need to configure AWS and all, and with the help of this we can connect our EKS cluster. Now my cluster is ready. This is a master, and these are the two worker nodes ready. So anyone any doubt as of now? Clear, guys? If it is clear, next move on to Kubernetes objects. Yes or no? Anyone any
Yes, sir.
doubt?
No, no,
Okay.
sir. No, sir.
Now if you see here, now come to here. Now if you see here, so I will share this document just to follow. This is very simple steps only, but here I added many URLs. So these are the old URLs. So might not working these URLs right now. If it is working, no problem. We can use that. Or else directly we can Google it, and only two packages, right? So AWS CLI and so kubectl, those two packages. And once that is done, and we need to configure so this one. So AWS configure, and once you enter this command, it is asking your access key. So this access key you are already in AWS access key, your user access key, and your secret key, and your so that is region name and JSON format. That's it. Now finally, so we'll get so kubectl get nodes. So if you see means now we'll see. So your cluster is ready. Now you can see these are the worker nodes. These are the worker nodes. So these are the worker nodes. Now, if you come to here in a Kubernetes, so already last class we seen, right? So in Kubernetes, last class we seen. So Kubernetes it is providing many objects, correct? So many objects. This already you know how it will work and all. Now these are the ways, guys. Different ways we can install Kubernetes. So right now I installed which way I follow? Amazon EKS, AWS. So EKS, Elastic Kubernetes Service only I used. Also we can use this is Azure Kubernetes service, also we can use it whatever it may be. And so these are the services. Now if you see here, but anyway right now I given full all port numbers are allowed. So this is the Kubernetes API server is running, so this service port, and so this is the etcd running. These are the main, so these are the main components, right? And if you come to master, that is nothing but control plane. So you know what is so API server, etcd. So in between it is assigning one etcd, and this is the kubelet API, and this is the kube scheduler. It is running this service, this service ID, and so this is the controller manager. But anyway, right now I given all, you know, right? All traffic means it will allow all port numbers. So specifically, if you want to allow for best practice, we need to allow only the specific port numbers. But anyway, for practice, so I allow all port numbers. Okay. Now if you come to worker nodes, so for worker nodes and all, we need to allow these are the port numbers, inbound rules and all. So 10250, this is the port number, and one more, this is the node port and service port and all. It is running 30,000 to 32,768 in between. So one port number it will coming. So anyway, we'll see later. Now these are the main Kubernetes object. These are the port numbers. So which service it is using, so which you know, right? So API server it is, and kube API, these are. But anyway, here I allowed all port numbers. So all traffic means no need to allow specifically. No need to allow specifically. Now if we come to here, so Kubernetes objects. So in if you come to Kubernetes objects, so with the help of Kubernetes, there is many advantages, right? Already first class I explained it. So Kubernetes objects means these are the main objects. If we come to, we need to now we are going to learn. So parts, you know, right? What is parts and what is namespace, deployment, and replica set, and replication controller, and demand set, and stateful set. Next, config map objects. These are the main objects. Secrets. Next, PVC, persistent volume claim, a service object, So these are the main objects. So now if we come to here, Kubernetes it will provide many objects. Now we'll see what is those objects and what is advantage. Now see here, Kubernetes objects are persistent entities in our Kubernetes system. Kubernetes uses these entities to represent the state of your cluster. And Kubernetes object is an record of intent. And once you create the object, the Kubernetes system will constantly work to ensure that object is existing or not. Now I want to check. So how many objects are in? These are the basic Kubernetes object, guys. So pod, replication controller, replica set, daemon set, deployment object, service object, volumes, job, and cube. Right? Here already we seen, right? So this is a config object, secret, and PVC, service object. So these are the topmost objects in Kubernetes, and with the help of these objects, we are going to deploy, and we are going to monitoring, and we are going to right, maintain your application. So these are the mostly we need to learn. These are the main objects. There is many objects available, but mostly we are going to discuss these objects. Okay. Now my cluster is ready. Now I want to check. So how many objects available here as of now? So my cluster is ready, right? Now I want to check. So what are the objects running by default? Now I want to check it. Now it is a timeout. Just wait. I want to connect my client. Okay. So now this is the default, this is a basic command. So I want to check, so your clusters are running, how many, I want to check my, how many worker nodes in active, how many worker nodes are running, and those and all if you want to check, this is the command, kubectl get nodes, get nodes. Nodes means it will display your worker nodes. It will display your worker nodes. So as of now, I have how many worker nodes? Only two worker nodes. As of now, I have how many worker nodes? Two worker nodes. For example, I want to check pods. This is the command kubectl get po, or we can use pods also. This is the commands. Now see here, kubectl get pods, kubectl get pods. If I use kubectl get pods means, so no resources found in the default namespaces. First, I want to check namespaces. See here, kubectl. We'll see later. Get ns. Ns is nothing but namespaces. So ns is nothing but namespaces. Namespace is nothing but that is the static virtual area where you want to deploy your application. Suppose if we come to real time, right? So if we come to real time, so these are the default namespaces. Anyway, next class I will explain all these things. So for the timing, remember. So for example, if we come to real time, so by default, Kubernetes people providing these are the namespaces. Now this is the default namespaces. If we create any pod object, if we create any deployment object, if we create any replica set object, if we create any service object, by default, all Kubernetes objects it is creating under the default namespaces. Default namespaces. Okay. Now, if we run any command, all are we are getting only under the default namespaces only. Now I want to check. So this is the kube system. Now see here, cube kubectl get pods hyphen m kube system. This is one namespace. This is the one namespace. Now if we use this namespace, now we can find here what are those running. Run here. Kube proxy is running, kube node, AWS node is running, and so core DNS is running, and also kube proxy. Now if you want to check it, so kubectl get all. This is the kube system, right? Now if you come to here, kube public. So here also nothing is run. Only here only it is running. See here all are this. Now, same way, kubectl get get all. Get all means now we can get all. So kubectl. This is typo error. Kubectl kubectl get all. So if you use kubectl get all means now see here. Now we can see this is the one service object. This is the Kubernetes. This is the cluster IP. This is my cluster IP, and this is my port number and age. 33 minutes ago it is created. It was created. So these are the commands. Now you know one command. So if you want to check your worker nodes and all, what is the command? kubectl kubectl get nodes. How many nodes I want to check it? It will display list of nodes. Now if you want to check parts, kubectl get parts. kubectl get parts. So right now I don't have any parts. Now I want to create pod. How to create pod? You know, right? What is pod? Pod is nothing but this is the smallest building block to run your application. Already last class we discussed, right? So pod is nothing but smallest building block to run your application. So to run your application. So see here, this is the pod. This is the pod, and pod always run on the which master or worker node. Pod always running on where? Worker nodes. Pods always running on worker nodes only, not in master. Next, each pod has one IP address, correct? Each pod has one IP address, and each pod has some resources, that is like network IP, storage. So these and all used by containers only. So inside the container, we can create a single inside the pod. How many containers? We can create a single container, or if you want to, we can create a multi containers also. So now see here, this is a multi container pod. This is a single container pod. Clear, guys? Anyone any doubt here? So if that is based on your requirement. So how many pods you want to create under the pod? How many containers? So one container, this is a single container pod. This is nothing but multi-container pod. Clear? Anyone any doubt here? Hello?
Yeah, clear, sir.
Okay.
Yes, yes,
Now here how to create pod. Now here so your our how to create pod. Now here first object. Now I'm going to create how to create pod and all. So now if you want to create pod, so we need to there is a some structure manifest file structure is there. So this is the kind. This is the API versions. So pod version is V1, replication control version is V1, service API version is V1, replica set API version is app slash V1, deployment object API version app slash V1, daemon set API version is app slash V1, jobs bash slash V1, and this is the API version. And kind, what type of object you want to create? What type of object you want to create? For example, I want to create one pod. Now you know, right? So in Docker we are creating so container, right? So here if you want to create container, first we need to create the pod. Inside the pod only we are going to update your you know, right, your container information and all. So before go creating pod, first I need image. Let me check it which image I need to use. So github not hub.docker.com, hub.docker.com. So hub.docker.com, and click on sign in. I hope already know these are the Docker only. I'm not going to explain more on this. I want to one image. Mm, so Maven, I'm going to use Maven web application. So version is tag is one. Tag is one. I'm going to use this version. Okay. Now, if you want to create any object here, this is nothing but manifest file, guys. So this is nothing but one text format. That extension should be YAML. The extension should be YAML. This is the one human readable language, and mostly in Ansible and Kubernetes, mostly we are using so YML file. So the extension should be YML. We can give any name, file name dot YAML, or we can use so file dot YML. We can start, we can give any name. So for best practice, mostly we can use any ID also, but right now we are in initial phase, right? So mostly try to create manually. Try to create manually. So or else so we can use IDs also. Suppose if you use any ID, for example, here Visual Studio. So Visual Studio, this is the one ID for development purpose. Mostly we can use it. So in the Visual Studio, first we need to install the that plugins and all. If you want to work with Kubernetes, we need to install the Kubernetes extension and all. And if you want to work with so Docker, we need to install Docker extension, and Ansible, we need to install Ansible extensions and all. already here already some that plugins and all installed. Now if you go to here file, go to create new file. Here I am going to give one file name test dot or pod p dot pod dot yml. Just I am giving pod dot yml. It is created or not? Let me already is available. Go to here, save it. Where it is saving? Let's leave it. Already existing. I have file, open file. This is the ID. So here also we can generate this script and all. This YML format. This is the manifest file. So manifest file is nothing but the syntax like it is following like this. So initial, right? So just type pod Kubernetes pod example. If you type, if you don't know anything,
You need to
Kubernetes
install
pod
kubectl.
examples.
Hello?
Okay. If you type this now, so
So,
this is a pod. This is the API. This is the someone put on mute, please. Okay. So see here, what is pod? So this shared context pod is set of Linux namespaces and C groups and all using pod. So this is the syntax. So API version v1. This is the manifest file. This is the syntax. First, you need to understand this syntax. Next, we need to write your manifest file. So API
so
version v1 and kind equal to which object you want. So you want to pod or you want deployment object or you want to replication set or you want to replication controller or there is whichever already we discussed here, right? So we can pass any object, any object. So now see here, this is metadata. Metadata means name equal to, we can give some name. We can give some name. And this is a spec. Spec is nothing but specification, guys. Spec is nothing but specification. Spec is nothing but specification. And container means so this is your container information, which image you want to use, which is your image. And containers hyphen name, we can give any name. This is your container name. And image, which image you want to use. And ports, which ports, under the ports container port, that container is running which port. This is very simple example, very simple sample example. So here nginx I took. Here I am not going to select. I am going to create my own image. Okay. So anyway, now I am going to create. Wait, it is hanged. Now I am going to create my own pod with the help of Tomcat. I hope everyone know, right? Tomcat container. In Docker, mostly we are using Tomcat container, right? So now I am using same container. Now we can check it how it will work. So first we need to create the manifest file. First you need to create the manifest file. So first you need to create the manifest file. Okay. First let me create ls. I don't have anything. mkdir. So DevOps K8s. K8s. Okay. Now each and everything I'm going to develop only this particular directory. Okay. So first we need to create the manifest file. That is nothing but YML file, guys. This is the text format only. Sudo vi, sudo vi. I am giving also test hyphen pod dot YAML or YML. We can give any name, extension, YAML, YML. Now if you enter, now this is right, you know, right, this is the editor, like Linux only. This is the editor. Now press I is nothing but insert mode. Now I want to create one pod object in Kubernetes. So these are the syntax. So API version, API version. Okay. So what is the pod API version? V1. Next. So API version. Next, kind is nothing but which object you want to create. What object I need? Pod, right? Pod object. Next, metadata. Pod metadata. 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 So name, which name? For example, I am giving a Java web application. You can give any name, guys. Java web app. I can give Java web app. Next, next there is a spec. This is the indentation, guys. Spec. Under the spec. Next, we need to give what is the syntax here they given. If you don't know, just a spec. Next, containers. Containers. con Tainers, containers, right? Okay. Next, hyphen name, hyphen name. So what is hyphen name? Container name. So I'm giving Java web. We can give any name. Or Tomcat container, or Tomcat container. We can give any name. Next, under Tomcat. Next, image. Which image you want? You know, right? So my image is available Docker Hub. So this is, I want to use this image. So this is my name. Copy this and I am coming to here. Just paste it. Now let me Konda slash and tag name. Which tag I need here? Tag is 1. Let me check it here. This is my image name. Actually, this is my image name. This is my so user, that is the context, right? So now this is a tag 1 only. Okay. Now what is next? So now this is done. Next, ports. Next, which port you are the Tomcat currently running. So that is port, right? So this is the ports. Hyphen container port. So hyphen container port. Which port my Tomcat server is running? Container port. So my Tomcat container running 8080 default port number. So that's it. This is very simple pod manifest file. This is a very simple pod manifest file. Just added, see, only few lines. This is the API. This is the mandatory API version. This is the syntax, guys. API version v1 kind pod. Which object you want to pod? For example, if you want to deploy, deployment. Suppose if you want to replica set, we need to type replica. If you want to service object, we need to type service object. But right now I am in pod, right? This is my pod. And metadata name. We can give any name. We can give any name. So here I given Java web app. Next, spec. Spec is nothing but specifications. Container information. Your container information. So this is your pod name. This is your pod name. And this is your container name. This is your container name. This is your pod name. And this is your image name. So while creating container, which image my base image? This is my base image. And ports. Your container running which port? 8080. That's it. So here anyone any doubt, guys? See here, API version v1, kind, pod, metadata, your pod name, and spec, and containers name, container name, image, which image you want, port, and container port. That's it. Now, before run this file, let me check it. Escape, colon, save and exit. Okay, I saved this file. So how to check pods? Do we have any pods, existing pods? Let me check it. ls. And how to check pods? Kubectl get pods. Do we have any pods right now? I don't have any pods. Now my manifest file is ready. Let me create a cat space test hyphen pod. Correct? This is my manifest file. Now how to create, how to execute this file? This is a command. Kubectl apply hyphen f your manifest file name. What is my file name? Test hyphen pod.yml. Now pod is created. See here, pod is created. Now how to check the pods? Kubectl get po, or we can use pod also. Pods. Now see here, one pod is running. See here, Java web app ready, running, restart no. So 11 seconds ago it is created. 11 seconds ago it is created. Now clear, guys? Anyone any doubt here? So now pod is ready. Now pod is running. My pod is running. Here anyone any doubt? So this is your manifest file. This is your file. This is the text format only. But we need to follow indentation and also we need to follow syntax. So API version v1 kind pod metadata. We can give any name. Same name we can see here. Same name we can see here. Now I want to know more about this pod. Which image? Is there any errors and all? I want to check it. See here, kubectl, 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 describe, describe pod name, pod and pod name, Java web app, Java web app. That's it. Now see here, now you can check it. See here, so now you can check it. So Java web apps. So name, what is the pod name? Java web app. And namespace. Which namespace it is created? Default namespaces. And node. So where it is running? Which node it is running? This node. Let me check it. kubectl get nodes. kubectl kubectl get nodes. So you have two nodes, right? So this is a one node. So 10.180.80 one node, and so 192 this is another node. Now this pod is running which node? Where it is running? Now check it here. Where it is running? Which node? Now clear, guys? Anyone any doubt here? If we come to here, just assume this is the IP. Okay, and so here one more node, right? So this is right. Okay, copy this one. Now paste. Okay, now I created one pod. So my pod is running here or here? Now check it. So now if based on this information we can check it. Your pod is running. Where? Where is this? 188. This means so here. Now got it? Anyone any doubt here? I have two worker nodes. Now my pod is running in this worker node, not here, in this worker node. Clear, guys? Anyone any doubt? What, Dilip? Already?
No doubt, sir.
Okay. So now pod. This is the, if you want to know about your pod and all, this is a command. In Docker also we are using one command, right? Which command we are using? Inspect or Docker inspector. We are using container ID, correct? Same way, if you want to know more about your pod, so this is the command. So kubectl, where is that? Cat, this is a file here. Describe. So kubectl describe pod name. Now this is your pod name and it is running default namespaces, and this is which worker node it is running, 188 worker node, and this is the date and time. Right now I don't have any labels, and so this is your IP. And so now if you come to here, container ID. So this is my container ID and this is my image. Now see here, this is my image. This is my image. And what is the port number? My container port number, it is running 8080. Okay, now so mount point. So this is our mount point, we'll see later. And so these are the volumes. So this is the default volumes it is running. And so image events, so successfully assigned this particular worker node and pulling that image. Yes, this is successfully pulled the image, correct. Next, created container. Yes, successfully it created container. Now I am going to update my manifest file. Now exit, see here, clear the screen. I want to show some error. So sudo vi test hyphen va. Now I am giving my wrong image name. In interview also many people asking, if you get this error, what is the problem? Now I given my wrong image. Now I am giving here wrong image name. I given two. Actually two is available in my image tag name. Yes or no? Tag 2 is available or not? My image.
No, sir.
No. Now I am trying to, by mistake you updated wrong image name. Now let me run this file. So how to run file? So kubectl get, kubectl apply hyphen f and file name, test manifest file name. Okay. Now so appc configure. Now check it. Now your pod is running or not. How to get your pods? kubectl get pods. kubectl get pods. Now we are getting one error message, err image full. Now got it right? Suppose real time also we are, these are the errors. In interview also many people asking, suppose you updated wrong image, wrong tag name. So which error message we are getting? Or simply they are asking reverse question. So while creating pod, I am getting EAR image full. What is the problem? Now got it right? Now what is the problem? Image problem. What is the problem? Image problem. Now got it?
Yes, sir.
Now how to check it? kubectl, kubectl, describe pod, describe pod. What is the pod name? Java web app. Now see here, back of restarting failed container. So image full backup, the main. What is this? Is a main error. Image full backup. What is this meaning? Your image is not available. It is trying to pull image, but so really that image is available in our Docker hub? No. So fail to pull the image. See here, not found. Fail to pull up, unpack image and not found. So version 2 is not available. So what is the error? So image full backup. What is the error? Image full backup. ERR image full. The full error message means image full backup means image is not available. That particular version is not available. Got it?
Yes, sir.
This is very, very important. So now if you want to check logs, if you want to check logs and all, so we can give this is one more command. See here, kubectl get, so kubectl, first let me check it, kubectl get parts. Okay. Now anyway it is problem, right? I need to update. See, crash loop back adapter, crash loop back off. What is this meaning means? Let me update. So sudo vi test hyphen pod insert. Let me give my actual so tag one, escape colon x. Now again execute it. So kubectl apply hyphen f, your manifest file name. Now check it, configure kubectl get pods, kubectl get pods. Now see here it is running. Now I want to check logs also. This is the command, kubectl logs and pod name Java web app. Java container, right? I want to check that container, kubectl logs Java web app. What is this? Kubectl. Now see here. Now we can check whether the Tomcat server is properly running or not. So really, do we have any issues? Actually, my application is running. So right now you don't know, right? Next class I will show you how to access your application and all. Now see here, if you want to check log containers and all, so these are the command. Clear guys? What is this command? If you want to get kubectl get nodes, it will display list of nodes. So kubectl get pods, it will display pod names. If you want to describe kubectl describe cube kubectl describe pod and pod name. So we can know more about your pod and all. So if you want to check container logs and all, so this is a command, kubectl logs and your pod name. Okay, you can check logs also. So clear guys, anyone any doubt? Now my pod is running here, and so in this worker node, And if you want to check your pods and all, kubectl get pods, or simply if you want to check it, a kubectl get PO also we can use it. See here, kubectl get PO also, it will work. PO also we can use. Okay. So anyone any doubt as of now? Clear, guys? How to create pod?
Yes,
Suppose if you
yes.
don't know, so just Google it. Everything will get in Google only. Official website. Just follow syntax. For first time anyway, we are missing some indentation and all. The spaces and all it won't work. So just copy and paste. And based on this, you can update your container information and you can update your pod name and you can update port numbers and all. Initial. Once you are everything okay, next we can try to type manually and create the pod and check it. But initially anyway we are getting many errors, so sometimes we are missing some space problem. This indentation is very important. See here, metadata. After metadata we need to give two spaces. This is a spec. After spec we need to give two spaces. This is the name. Next ports. So this is indentation, you need to follow this indentation and all, but slowly we can learn one by one. Okay, so that's it from my side. And so if you have any doubt